the drone industry, or are you just curious about manufacturing? Then this talk is for you. Today we are welcoming Jean-Michel Arnold from Delair, a drone company which is using Odoo, and he will tell us about their success story with Odoo. On the agenda today, we're going to see what Delair is as a company. Then we will see how they were organized before having Odoo. Then we will see how the implementation of Odoo went with their partner Falinois. And then we will see the full scope that they have, including manufacturing. And in the end, Jean-Michel will give us his precious advices for a company that is considering today using Odoo. So Jean-Michel, tell us about Delair.
So, Delair, we are manufacturing drones. We have more than 12 years of experience designing and manufacturing 5 different generations of professional drones, and we have 1,000 of them are sold all over the world. So here you can see Delair in few numbers. We sell directly our drone, or we have a network of 70 resellers all over the world. We have today more than 120 employees, and for a forecast of 25 million this year. We have 7 support centers all over the world, and our different we work on linear and infrastructures. For example, for power lines, railways, ships, offshore wind turbines, and we have an areas of expertise in defense and security too, for the armies, police, border patrol, firefighting, and so on.
Thank you. Can you tell us about your activity? What is Delair all about?
So to be more concrete about what is our activity, you can see you can see here a little video. On this video called DT46 from design to delivery, you can see all the different steps from the idea to the conception and the industrialization of a drone. Here you can see the quality check. For example, the test parking. We will talk about this later. And the drone in activity. So you can see that all of these manufacturing elements and all the quality check will ensure the mission, whether it's a surveillance mission, mapping, or other. So this is a drone you just saw in the video, the DT46. It is a convertible drone solution with a modular design for the vertical takeoff and landing, we say VTOL. This UAV aircraft is used to provide advanced multi-sensor intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance services. That's what we name ESR. Here is another product on our catalog, the DT46. This drone is stealth and rugged. This drone is used for precise intelligence and reconnaissance of critical areas. The long-range tactical UAV secures sensitive areas over large distances. This product, for example, helped to secure the Paris Olympics this summer.
Cool, the Olympic Games.
Here you have the UX11. So this is a discreet and launched, easy to deploy, lightweight and fully automatic UAV for high accuracy tactical mapping. Among other things, it allows real-time capture, aerial photos at days and nights, and turns them into map for geointelligence. So we had ice in the sky, so now we have ice under the sea. In 2023, Delair acquired Nautilo Plus, which became a Delair business unit that names Delair Marine. So we add to our catalog an underwater drone. So his name is Sesam. He's useful for coastal airborne patrol, ship hull investigation, critical infrastructure inspection, and underwater victim research.
Okay, what an amazing range of products. Let's jump now on the IT part. How were you organized before having Odoo?
So before having Odoo, we were also digitalized, but we had to deal with 5 different software. So it was a lot of software. We had one for CRM, one for sales, one for manufacturing, one for PLM, and one for purchase. Each of the software was working okay. It was okay. But as you can think, we had 5 different databases, and it became impossible to handle our master data properly. For example, the products were not following in the different databases because simply the databases were different, and so it was very problematic for us.
Yes, that's a lot of softwares. It looks like a nightmare to me. So this is where Odoo intervenes. Spoiler alert, all of this is now integrated in one and only solution, Odoo. Why Odoo?
Why Odoo? So we started experimenting Odoo with OpenERP V8, but at this moment we didn't like that because it was not mature enough. In 2020, we made a market research to compare different ERP, and we talked with Falinois, an IT company, and they convinced us to go for Odoo. Since we have Odoo, we went from 60 employees to 120 employees.
That's the double. Talking about the partner, so to give you a context, here at Odoo, clients can decide to work directly with Odoo or to go with an official Odoo partner. Falinois is an IT company, an international IT company, and they are official Odoo partner with the gold level. They are even triple gold because they are gold for the entity in France, the entity in China, and the entity in Indonesia. Of course, Delair is working with the French entity, and it made sense for Delair to work with Falinois because they have the expertise in manufacturing since 2010. So they're working together. As you can see on the pictures, Falinois is coming every year to the Odoo experience, and very often they are nominated during the award ceremony to win a prize. This year they're nominated in the Best Partner APAC category, so let's see tomorrow at 5:30 if they win. So about the implementation with Falinois, what was the challenge?
So the first challenge was to replicate the arena process for the PLM and to merge our 5 different databases.
Yes. And what was the proposition of Falinois to that?
So Falinois developed something that it calls Cluedo. Cluedo are extra module, extra features of Odoo that allow us to have a more specific level of configuration and more functionalities. For example, we have some specific need on the PLM, and Falinois develop these functionalities. They help us with our implementation for sales, purchase, inventory, accounting, and today, for example, we have a 26 Odoo modules, but we have more than 100 Falinois modules on our database.
That's a lot of modules. How long did the implementation of Odoo take?
So we need 7 months to implement Odoo, during which the Delair team was very involved. We did a follow-up with Falinois, and we did a lot of work for the cleaning of the 5 databases.
Yes. Did you set priorities in the beginning when you went live, like the most important modules, or did you download all the modules at the same time?
For the go live, we had sales, purchase, accounting, manufacturing, and PLM. So I would say everything was a priority.
Everything was a priority. Falinois gives trainings to help your employees understand Odoo. Did they train the all employees at the same time, or just one key user that would train the other employees after? How did it work?
No, we have a training for several key users. Okay.
Many key users.
Many key users, the experts in their domain, so we did a training for the production. We did a training for the CRM, for the PLM, and so on.
Okay. Okay. So after all this budget investment and time investment, let's see what your scope is today. So this is a big picture of your scope. Can you please explain how it works?
We use the Odoo CRM, so we have leads, and these leads are transformed to opportunities, and these opportunities to sales. And then when we have a sales, a manufacturer order is created, so we pass through the MRP and the purchase with an automation, the quality check, and then the delivery and the invoicing. Okay.
Now let's zoom in the flow of the life of the drone. So not the components, but the drone. Can you please explain the time management in manufacturing, the work orders, the picking, and the serial numbers?
Yeah. So when we sell a drone, it generates a manufacturer order in the manufacturing of the drone. Every drone has its own serial number. We use barcode, so we make a basket with the different components of the drone by picking the different components in the stock. Then we do the assembly of the different components to build the drone, and then there is the quality check for every component. At the end of the process, we have something that we call a test parking. That means that we check and test our drone in every condition, and then we can send it to the customer.
Okay. And now, what is the flow for the life of the components?
So manufacturing is consumes the component because the components are going out of the stock. So it creates a demand because the stock decreases, and we have an automation for the replenishment request. In purchase, Odoo proposes component to buy, and the PLM allows the buyer to Delair to have a visibility on the status of the version of the product, because it's very important for us. When we receive the components that we buy, there is an automatic selection of the product in Odoo, the ones who needed a quality control and the others.
Okay, thank you. Some questions now. How did the employees react to the change when you went on Odoo? What was the reaction?
As Odoo is user-friendly and everyone has the training given by the key users, I would say everything was smooth in the possible way.
Okay. Today, are you autonomous, or do you need often the help of your partner?
So we have a lot of autonomy on the solution, but we discuss often with Falinois about improvements. For example, for planning and costing, we need to go one step further.
Okay. As an IT manager, how much of your time does Odoo take you?
It depends of the project, it depends of the time, but I would say 20 or 30% of my time.
Okay. In the future, are you interested in what Odoo has to offer? Do you plan to extend your scope? How do you see the evolution in the future?
So the first is to upgrade to the IT. Okay.
Yes.
And always going. We are always going on improvement. As we grow, we go fast. We need Odoo need to adapt gradually with our company.
Yes, because as you said, I am responsible of your subscription at Odoo, and when you started with Odoo, you were 60 employees, and now you are 120, so you grow a lot, and Odoo is following that.
We double the number of users.
Yes, you double the users. What are your wishes that is missing maybe today with Odoo? What would you like to be improved in Odoo?
For example, as we used a lot of Cluedo modules, there is some features in Cluedo that, in my sense, must be in Odoo standard.
Yes, so the developments you would have liked that they would be in standards. Okay, now what are your precious advices for a company that is considering using Odoo?
First thing is do not underestimate master data. It's a lot of work. Be organized with your key users. Have key users, I think, per domain of expertise. Put time in project with your key user. Just keep in mind, this is not an IT project, this is a real company project. And at the end, I would say test, 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 and retest before go live.
Yes. Thank you very much, Jean-Michel. Thank you everyone for listening. If you have any question, please scan this QR code and write them on the pad.
Thank you. I'll take the microphone.
Oh yes.
Thank you very much. All right, so if you guys have questions in the crowd, please feel free to shout it out. Otherwise, I'm just going to look into the pad because I saw we have some questions already.
Okay.
Let me just quickly reconnect. All right, there is a first question here. When switching from 5 solutions to Odoo, was change management complicated?
So it was not very complicated because we have some problem with our different databases. So I think Odoo gives solution to that, and the user was happy with this solution. I think because we haven't problem with connectors and we have all our data in the same database.
Thank you. There is a second question and even another one coming up. What was the biggest challenge while implementing Odoo? I think you touched about it already, but I think it's good maybe to...
For us, it was to merge our 5 databases because when you have different databases, you have some customers different, you have some products that was different, and to merge all the database, it was very, very complicated. But after we merged the database in Odoo, all was more evident for us, simply. And the second challenge was the PLM, because we have a product dedicated to the PLM, and Odoo was not respond to this dedicated software. That's normal.
Thank you very much. We've had a lot of questions actually. It's pretty good. People are really interested in your talk. What difference do you think it made to have a partner during the implementation of Odoo? Do you think it increased acceptance to the new system inside the company? So Fall-in-One in this case.
Yes, I think so. Because for our part, we discover the product, so we are not an expert in different modules. So to have a partner that have the lead on this different module, it's more easy to share it with your users. It's evident.
Thank you. We still have time for one question. One last question. All right, so is there a lot of development? So compared to Odoo standard here, how do you manage that? By internally or, well, internally with your team of developer or with the partner?
To have, as we have Odoo modules, we didn't have some, I think, complicated development to do, but for fine tuning, we need to use the Odoo Studio tool. So just for the fine tuning.
Thank you very much. I saw there were other questions in the pad, but if your questions wasn't answered, feel free to go and talk to Jean-Michel here around the booth.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye. Thank you.